This video can contain spoilers. Did you think that the Santa Claus was the perfect Christmas movie? Tim Allen reveals the one Santa Claus plot hole that always bothered him, and Kal Penn says that Santa Claus just might be the one to bring us together. Furthermore, whatever happened to the live-action Hercules? And is Margot Robbie's Pirates project really dead? You'll find out later in the video. But first, Tim Allen reveals one Santa Claus plot hole that always bothered him. Tim Allen is known for various roles, but when the holiday season comes around each year, Allen always receives renewed attention for portraying Scott Calvin, also known as Santa Claus, in 1994's The Santa Claus. And 2022 is going to be even better, because this is the year that Allen is actually reprising his role for The Santa Clauses, a limited series that will be available on Disney+. And because of that, Allen has been ruminating about his earlier Santa Claus outings, and as it turns out, there's one huge plot hole in the first movie that has always bothered the actor. Allen made an appearance on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon for the Santa Claus's promotional tour, where he noted that it's a little unusual that after Scott Calvin quite unexpectedly takes over as Santa Claus, no one is really concerned about what happened with the previous Santa Claus. In fact, no one ever even acknowledges it. I just hop in the sleigh with the kid and we go off. No one ever asked where's, does Mrs. Claus know that the other guy is dead? Allen said to his host, Jimmy Fallon. Apparently, all will be explained in the upcoming The Santa Clauses. Next up, Kal Penn says that Santa Claus may just be the one to bring us together. Kal Penn was in high school when the original The Santa Claus was first released, a movie that became an instant classic and was quickly added to the holiday rotation of movies like Christmas Story, Home Alone, and National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. In short, Penn grew up with the franchise, and it was a no-brainer when it came to deciding whether he wanted to be a part of the Santa Claus franchise. Penn did have a previous brush with Christmas during a very Harold and Kumar 3D Christmas. Penn has admitted that when he met Tim Allen face-to-face for the first time, he had already been in his suit, and the kid in him immediately kicked in, and he was on his best behavior for the rest of the day. There's just something about Santa Claus that makes even a grown man want to be a good boy. This just might be the thing that the world needs right now, thinks Penn, who says we're living in a world that's a little cynical right now. At the end of the day, The Santa Clauses is a story where good triumphs over evil, and it allows people to rediscover the magic of love and the magic of Christmas, which Penn simply wanted to be a part of. And the best part? It's the kind of show you could watch with any of your relatives who you may disagree with on all sorts of real-world things, because it's the magic of Christmas, and who doesn't love Christmas? Following that, what's happening with Disney's Hercules live-action remake? Of the movies that make up the Disney Renaissance period, 4 have had the honor of being adapted to live-action counterparts within the last half-decade. This will be 5 when The Little Mermaid has been released in May of 2023. And as you may know, there's a live-action version of 1997's Hercules in the works as well, with Guy Ritchie set to direct. Ritchie already has some live-action experience under his belt, thanks to 2019's Aladdin, and he briefly talked about the status of Hercules during the Red Sea International Film Festival in Saudi Arabia, admitting that he hoped to start shooting for Hercules within the year. Ritchie is currently working on The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, which stars Henry Cavill, and has only recently wrapped on The Covenant, starring Jake Gyllenhaal, which was previously known as The Interpreter. But Ritchie won't be able to start working on Hercules until he's wrapped up his Cavill-led World War II thriller. This means that shooting isn't likely to start anywhere before this time next year. It's a given that the post-production process is going to be an extensive job, which means it's going to eat up a big chunk of time as well. All of which unfortunately does add up that we probably won't see the live-action Hercules until 2025. Hold up, we've got more in store for you. Next, is Margot Robbie's Pirates project really dead? What is Stephen King's unpopular opinion about the ending of It's a Wonderful Life? And how could the Divergent franchise actually hurt Theo James's career? Keep watching until the end of the video to find out. Let's get to it. First up, maybe Margot Robbie's Pirates project isn't dead after all. Ever since the release of 2017's Dead Men Tell No Tales, the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise has been pretty much stagnant. The latest installment of the series was met with primarily negative critical reception, and only ended up grossing a little more than the first movie, The Curse of the Black Pearl. And while Disney has no intention of bringing Johnny Depp back to reprise his role, and Depp himself has no desire to enter the Pirates fold either, the Mouse House has been been on the lookout for several ways to try to revive the franchise. One of these ways is a spin-off led by none other than Margot Robbie. Robbie has been working on the Pirates of the Caribbean spin-off with Birds of Prey writer Christina Hodson, but she revealed in November 2022 that it didn't look like Disney had any interest in working with her, and the project wasn't moving forward. But then, a plot twist. The producer of all the Pirates movies, Jerry Bruckheimer, has revealed to Collider that there's still a chance that Robbie's project will get off the ground someday. It's just that they're a little busy focusing on another project. According to Bruckheimer, they developed 2 different stories for Pirates, and they're going forward with one of them first. It seems like the producer is talking about a possible Pirates 6, but as far as Bruckheimer sees it, Robbie's script hasn't been shelved permanently. Next, Stephen King shares his unpopular opinion about the ending of the Christmas classic, It's a Wonderful Life. It's a Wonderful Life is one of those Christmas classics that never disappoint with ratings. Most people love the movie for its warm and happy ending, but leave it to horror author Stephen King to show us a different point of view of Frank Capra's movie. As King sees it, It's a Wonderful Life actually has quite a sinister ending for Jimmy Stewart's George Bailey. To help shake up your memory, George Bailey sees what life would have been like if he had never existed, which makes him beg an angel to help him give him his life back. The angel agrees, and George is allowed to return to his loving family and townspeople after realizing that life truly is, you get the point. So when King was asked if he would ever do a dark tale on one of the best Christmas movies on Twitter, he responded with, "At the end of It's a Wonderful Life, Jimmy Stewart appears to have gone crazy and is about to murder his family. He's just got that look." So there's that. But King isn't the only one who lets intrusive thoughts win. The Simpsons actually beat King to it in the episode called Natural Born Kissers, where Bart and Lisa dig up an unseen reel of an alternate ending to the Christmas movie that involves a killing spree. And lastly, how the Divergent franchise actually negatively hurt Theo James's career. Most people were first introduced to Theo James through his role as the dauntless instructor named 4 in the Divergent franchise, because it's arguably the project that helps Theo James's career to really take off. But while the franchise definitely gave James amazing exposure, there's a certain risk attached to working on something like Divergent for so long. As James explains it, you do a certain type of film, and you sign contracts where you're beholden to those roles for a certain period of time, and people see you in a certain light that you have to wrestle your way out of, because what happens is typecasting. Of course, James doesn't mind being the sidekick in a female-led franchise, but that doesn't mean he wants to get stuck being eye candy for the rest of his career. But that's really what he had to go up against for a good amount of time before people started seeing James as someone who's able to portray more than what he was allowed to show in the Divergent franchise. James said that he felt like he didn't have the fluidity to move in the directions that he wanted to for a long time, after having portrayed 4 in 3 movies. Because it was such a specific type of character, being part of a teen movie franchise can become a bit of a trap. And that's a wrap. Did you realize that Santa Claus had died in the Santa Claus, or had you completely forgotten that happened too? Let us know in the comments what you think.